Your personal transformation is integral to our collective liberation. Thank you for tuning in to Naijha Speaks. I am Naijha Brown, co-owner of the Land of Kush Vegan Soul Bistro in Baltimore and executive director of the Black Veg Society. Today's guest, Brialle Ringer with Be Well with Braille, is going to tell us all about why we need a Black Women's Healing Fund. Good morning, Braille. How are you?
Hello. So wonderful to meet you all.
Thank you for coming on. I am so excited. So let's get right into it. Tell us all about yourself.
Absolutely. So I am a holistic health coach. I am certified in yoga, plant-based nutrition, integrative energy healing, and then I also have my degree in social work. So I really kind of combine all these different modalities to support women all over the world coming home to who they truly are and remembering the healer within. And so as you shared, I'm big on our personal transformation is integral to our collective liberation. And so I know that when we heal ourselves and when we come home to ourselves, then we are better positioned to support all of the amazing things that we want to in the world. We're able to be better advocates in the movement and have sustainable movements when we really know how to take care of ourselves.
Right, exactly. What is your daily motivation? Any disciplines you want to tell us about? Any inspirations? Someone said, sounds like this is going to be good. It is, Steve. Thanks for tuning in.
You're in the right place. Yes, my daily motivation and discipline are my daily practices. And so every day, the first thing I do when I wake up is meditate. And it's that practice of coming home to myself so that I can support others in doing that work. And, giving prayers, giving thanks, and surrendering in service. In my prayers every day, I'm like, I surrender in service to the highest good of all beings on the planet. Use me. Let my life, let my voice be a conduit for spirit to make magic and miracles. Like, let's see what magic we're going to make today. So starting every day with that, sitting with myself and just getting curious about where am I feeling today? What's going on? What's present for myself and my mind, my body, my spirit, giving prayer, giving thanks, and then moving my body, drinking water, hydrating myself. And that positions me to really show up powerfully in the world and support my clients doing the same.
Awesome. And we need more of it. So talk to me about what's being well with Braille. Where did that come from?
Yeah, so Be Well with Brialle.
Brialle.
That's how you say it. Yes.
Brialle. Sorry about that. Brialle.
No problem. So Be Well with Brialle, came out of me and my own healing journey and being in a space when I was in college of being totally burnt out, being the person who was very much people pleaser, perfectionist, and doing the absolute most, having 12-hour long days, really kind of like bleeding heart where it's like, I care so much about so many things. I got to do it all. Right. And I know that a lot of other advocates can probably resonate with that. So it's like, yes. There's so much that needs to be addressed and how can I fit it all into one day? And so I had these like 12-hour long days, most days. And it came to a point where I just had nothing left for myself. And I was feeling so burnt out. I just remember crying and not even realizing why I was crying and just feeling so disconnected from what really brought me joy. And so it came to a point where, I got into a car accident that kind of was an awakening for me of something really needs to shift. I'm so disconnected and so not present that I really just drove straight into a pole in a parking lot. And two, getting myself into therapy, learning to set boundaries, learning to say no, dropping a class that I was taking because I had such a full schedule, deciding to, take a few things off, and I ended up taking a yoga class in that place of that challenging class that I had. And so I started to do yoga. I started to meditate between my classes and my busy schedule. When I would have a little 15-minute break, I would be like meditating in the sun. I started to, eat more plant-based and just started to take in all these different practices that helped me to feel more connected to myself in a way that I hadn't in a really long time. And so that looked like changing the way that I was eating, meditating, doing yoga. And I also reclaimed a childhood play of mine, which is dance. I grew up like loving dance, being my first love. And I started to dance again, and I started to play with a hula hoop, and there's this thing called hula hoop dancing, and it was this way for me to dance every day, and this way for me to move my body in a way that was like joyful and pleasurable, and to reclaim pleasure in my life. And so through all these different practices that I had, I started to really feel a whole lot better, feel a lot more balance in my life. And I was sharing my journey online during that time of like practicing self-care and sharing all of the transformations that I was feeling. And it was really resonating with people. And I was like, there's something here. This is feeling really good. And it came to the point where I was at a point of making a decision of, am I going to continue with this plan that I have of going straight to getting my doctorate degree and signing up for another several years of school? Or am I going to really listen to my spirit and know that something else is calling me, and I don't know what that looks like, but I'm going to keep going down this route. And so that's when I started to dive more into wellness, and it actually led me on a journey in a van. I used to travel in a van for about a year after I graduated college.
You think
through
travel
the West
like
Coast.
Okay, all right.
Yep. So came down the West Coast in a van and stayed in all these beautiful national parks, and landed in LA, really loved it, connected with a lot of great people, and made a mentor of mine who helped me get my yoga teacher certification and just learn more about how to get into wellness as an industry. And so got my yoga teacher certification. And then, during this time I was vegan already, and I've been vegetarian since I was like 11, went vegan probably about 4 years ago now. But I really started to learn more about the healing power of plants. When I did it at first, it was about the animals and the environment. But I had a grandfather who passed away from type 2 diabetes and eventually a heart attack. And I was just like, I know too much to not be sharing on a bigger level. So what's it going to take for me to support other people not going through this? And, when he passed, I just got really clear that the cycle of illness and death in my lineage, from preventable disease, this ends here. I'm the last one. We're not doing this anymore. And so I got certified in plant-based nutrition and started creating programs to support other people on their journey into going plant-based, but also having some other healing modalities like meditation, mindfulness, yoga, because I know that health is really holistic. It's not only what we eat, it's also how we're moving our bodies, being in community with one another. There's so many dimensions of it. And so that was the birth of Be Well with Brialle, and being a holistic health coach supporting people on their journeys.
Awesome. So why do we need a Black Women's Healing Fund? Can you talk to us about that, and why specifically Black women, since, I guess we're treated so specially?
Yeah, absolutely. So I created the Black Women's Healing Fund last summer of 2020, during uprisings for racial justice. And it was a moment when, we're in the midst of the global pandemic where people are feeling really disconnected from community, when we're still socially distancing. It was also, two, there's this moment where people are really leaning in and listening that like we need to do something about creating a society that really values racial justice, and what does that look like? And so I had a woman who reached out to me, a previous client of mine, who was like, I really enjoyed the work that we did together, and I want to sponsor a Black woman participating in your 7-week course, Gettin' Free: The Journey Within. And I was like, wow, that's so beautiful. I was really touched and really inspired. And I was like, let's see who else. I bet someone else would also like to sponsor a Black woman participating in this program. And so I used to work with people one-on-one, but I really wanted to expand and be able to reach more. And so I set the goal of raising $3,000 and surpassed that in like a weekend, and was able to support 30 Black women on their holistic healing journeys. And we were together for 7 weeks. And it was so powerful and so healing, you know, to listen to one another and learn about one another as we're like on our journeys of coming home to ourselves. And so, you know, I had people after the program who were like, I have deepened trust and intimacy with Black women as a result of this experience of being able to share vulnerably and witness others do the same. I had people who were like transform their relationship with food and really learned a deeper like spiritual connection to food and thinking about it and how our food choices impact the earth and other beings. I had folks who, you know, went totally vegan. I had people who quit their 9-to-5 and went all in on their business. I had a woman who moved across the country to Hawaii. So the transformations were really huge. And so now in the last year, I've been in the space of like, let's make it bigger. Let's go bigger. And thankfully got the support of a grant from Mercy for Animals to now be in a space where I'm able to support hundreds of Black women. And this round, we have a deeper focus on veganism and plant-based nutrition. And so this program is really to support Black women going vegan, healing holistically, and getting free for free. And the importance of this is Black women are disproportionately impacted by nutrition-related diseases. You know, we have a higher rate and risk of breast cancer. We have the highest death rate of any other racial and ethnic minority group, or racial and ethnic group, period, when it comes to breast cancer. 49% of African-American women have some form of heart disease over the age of 20. And all of these are correlated to what we're eating. And in the case of heart disease and diabetes, can be prevented and reversed with a whole food plant-based diet. And so there's so much healing power in the way that we eat and really getting that information out there so that we can start to reduce some of these preventable diseases in this community.
Exactly. And thank you, Steve. Steve says he agrees. Black women more than any person need and deserve more help. How does one get into the program, and when is it starting? I'm going to pull your website up. I mean, is it ready for enrollment right now? Okay. So
enrollment is open.
So we have the website up and we'll go through the website. Is it under events?
Yes, you can go to offerings.
Offerings. Okay.
Yep, and then scroll down to Black Women's Healing Fund.
Okay.
Oh, so go back up.
Offerings.
And
Black Women's
there
Healing.
We go.
I got
there
you.
It is.
Just make sure I can see it. All right. Look at that.
Yes. So this is here. You can learn more about it. So the ways that people can participate is, one, you can apply and the program begins in August, and we'll meet once a week for 9 weeks to really, each week you're going to experience a vegan presentation, a cooking demonstration, and a wellness workshop. So you're going to be empowered with so many tools for your holistic health and healing journey lifelong. So that's just a little bit more about the program, and enrollment is open. So you can click to apply. The application takes like 5 minutes. And so really, if you're interested, I highly recommend applying as soon as possible, and bring your friends, tell your mom, your cousin, your sister, you know, share it with your whole community, because I have the capacity to support a really large group. And I'd be really so honored to support you in your journey.
This is amazing. So folks, you're going to go to the website Be Well with Brialle, and you're going to apply to join this Black Women's Fund, which is starting, say it again.
In August.
In August. Once a week. What day a week is it starting?
It's going to be on Tuesday evenings from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, but there's going to be recordings for everything. And so if you're not able to make it live, you can always catch the replay. So still do join us if you're not able to make it live, because you can catch all the replays.
Can someone like myself join? Is this open?
Yes, absolutely. So
economic backgrounds, or is you have to be, you know what I mean?
So it's specifically designed for Black women and femmes who technically or traditionally, their funds have been a barrier to accessing support in their wellness journey. However, all people are able to join. And then there's a question in the application, and it asks about, are finances a barrier to your holistic health and healing journey? And if you select no, then we just ask that you make a donation, and it'll bring you right through that process, so that you can, support another Black woman having access to this program. So it's open to all, because I know that it is a unique, powerful journey to be in community with one another during something like this. So I just want to make sure that everyone is able to participate that desires to.
Tom says that you're such a great role model for young girls. Great job. And Steve,
Thank you.
Again, apply today. Yes, promote. Apply today. The scholarships program designed to support Black women going vegan, healing holistically, and getting free for free.
For free.
For enrollment. I love it. Yes. Thank you for that, Steve. Are you going through any challenges, facing any challenges with the program so far? I know you're just getting started. Or if you want to just talk about any challenges you have been facing and how you're overcoming them, because I could show you right now, somebody says this is a money grabbing scheme, and that is a challenge, because why would you say that? But anyway, let me hear from you, Brialle.
Yes, that's so interesting, a money grabbing scheme. It's like, how? It's free. It's a free program.
I'm question mark. Thank you, Steve. We are all trying to grab money. It's what we do with that money that makes the difference. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a big believer. The more money we make, the bigger the impact we can have. Exactly. But the challenge is, I feel super supported in terms of like having funding to be able to support this program. Now I need the participants. I need y'all to sign up. I think that that happens. Amazing. I think something that happens is people are like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. Like, I can maybe do something else. Like, I want to make sure I hold the space for someone else to have access to this. It's like, this is for you. This is for you.
This is for you and you and you and you. How do you do you and you?
Yes, and feeling like you're worthy of the support that you need in what you've been feeling called to. And so another, potential challenge, or not even necessarily a challenge, just something that I'm up to now that I'm calling in and attracting, are other bringing in guest speakers. So wanting to, one, redistribute funds into community and pay other people who are doing amazing work in terms of in the vegan and wellness space. And so if there's people who are listening who you're a Black woman who's a chef, who is a vegan presenter and speaker and powerful activist, you're someone who teaches yoga, like I'm trying to bring other Black women in to share more people who are doing this work with the participants, because I know that, I do a lot of things, but it's also great to introduce them to other folks that are doing this work, and for me to be able to redistribute funds and pay other Black women to share their gifts.
Exactly. What is your overall goal? Where do you want to be in the next few years, next 5 years with this particular project?
Yes. So what I see for like the continuation of this project is this 9-week program. The participating in this is like step one of come home to yourself. Let's go ahead and do some self-discovery work and see what areas need a little bit of extra love and attention, and have the tools to then care for yourself in that way. And so have this journey. And typically at the end of these courses that I do with folks, I'm asking questions like, okay, now you've had this transformation in your life. How can you share this with others? How can you take the healing that you've got with yourself and bring this back to your community and support someone else getting free and healing holistically and going vegan. And so I'm already asking questions like that, and people naturally feel called to like, okay, I want to do something now. And I want to create some more support for people. And so the step 2 I see is really a leadership program. I would love to do this as like an in-person leadership retreat where I take some of the star participants who really showed up powerfully in the 9-week program and say, I see that you want to do this program in your own community. You want to offer something to your folks now. Let me support you from start to finish with creating a project in your own community. And so coming and bringing people in to actually draw up that action plan, and then supporting people in a 6-month mentorship program to meet weekly, going over the challenges that they're having and connecting to them to the support that they need to now show up as a leader in this work in their own community. I would also really love to be able to offer grants to participants of the program who, you know, they see, okay, I really now want to also share about veganism in my community. I also really want to do cooking demonstrations and support people with plant-based nutrition. And they're like, but I need some funds to do this nutrition certification. Okay, let's see if we can get you a grant, connect you to some funds so that you can show up in that way. So those are some of the ways that I see the expansion of this work.
Thank you for that. Yes, Steve, you came right on time. Thanks for your activity, Brielle, and thanks to Naijha and Jane Unchained for broadcasting this public announcement. Yes, I want to shout out all my sponsors and supporters: A Welfare World, Veg Fund, Women Funders in Animal Rights, Mercy for Animals and the People's Fund, NutritionFacts.org, Eat the Change, Jane Unchained, collectively, individual supporters like yourself that go to the Black Veg Society website at bbsmd.org and show your support by donating. This is how all of this happens. So thank you again. Are you working on any other projects outside of the Black Women's Fund?
Yeah, so there's another project that's brewing that I can't share quite yet, but you'll be seeing more of me in the animal advocacy movement starting this fall, and I'll be really excited to share more publicly about that in the coming months. So you'll be seeing more of me, but I can't share quite yet exactly what that will look like. And then in terms of my own work, I work with folks one-on-one. So if you're like, I'm not a Black woman, but I feel really called to, work with you, I do work with folks one-on-one. I do integrative energy healing, where we do breath work and energy healing, which is really powerful. I actually recently facilitated an energy healing and breathwork session for the Mercy for Animals staff. And so if you are someone who is a part of an animal organization, or any kind of organization really, but I really love doing this work with folks in the animal advocacy movement, and you're like, I know our staff is getting a little bit burnt out because we're doing such important work that can feel really emotionally draining and even create some trauma. If you want to support the people that you're working with in creating space for self-care and community healing, because I know so deeply that that kind of work is what creates sustainable movements and us being more effective in the work that we're doing in the world, I would love to facilitate a wellness workshop for your organization and your staff. So those are some of the ways that folks can work with me. You can work with me one-on-one. You can bring me into your organization to create space for community healing. And you can learn all about the ways to connect with me and learn more about these offerings on my website at bewellwithbrielle.com. It's very easy to just click and book some of my services right from my website.
Yes, let's take a look at that website again. So Be Well with Brielle, and then follow Brielle on social media. This is going to be incredible. I'm definitely going to sign up. Black Lives Matter, Black Love Matters, but also Black Health Matters. So, and then I Matter. I got my shirt on today from Flexing in My Flexing. I matter. So you have to take the time out to heal yourself. So my Black women, my people of color, please sign up for the program. You need it. And if you don't feel you need it, Share this with someone else that you love because they need it. My gentleman friends and all the other people out there that can share this with someone that they love. You just told us how we could reach you. Again, Be Well with Brialle on IG at Brialle Ringer on Facebook and TikTok. And you just had a posting on your Facebook page that I thought was beautiful with your yoga and your movement. Definitely check Brialle out on Facebook at what was it, on Facebook and TikTok.
Be Well with Brialle.
Yep. Be Well with Brialle. Do you want to leave us with a strong message? Because we're ending the segment. We're towards the end. I don't see any other. Oh, there you go. Gwenna says, awesome. What a wonderful idea. So Gwenna, we hope to see you in there too. Shout out to Gwenna Hunter doing some amazing things in the West Coast. So what do you want to leave us with?
Yeah, I'll leave you with this affirmation and prayer and just speaking life over everyone who listens. I hope that this touches your heart. I hope that you really feel me and the many ancestral lineages that stand behind me when I show up in this work. And I hope that you feel inspired to come home to yourself and whatever that looks like for you. There are so many ancestors, spirit guides, God within, who whatever higher power and spiritual team you speak to is here supporting you in whatever you do when you do it with love. And so I invite you to come home to yourself, to your authentic self, and to speak your truth. And let spirit speak through you as you align yourself with the highest good of all beings on the planet. I'm so grateful to be in this work and in this world with you. And I hope to connect with you more very soon.
That was so beautiful, Brialle. Again, I matter. I matter. Sign up. I matter. Sign up for the Black Women's Healing Fund at BeWellWithBrialle.com. Let's take a look at that. That is such a beautiful photo. I mean, if this doesn't touch you all, and I don't know what will. Brialle, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you and sending blessings your way for a successful program in August. And I'm expecting to see you soon. All right. Thank everyone.
You.
Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you want to support Black Biz Society, bbsmd.org. Be well and be safe.